One.
Hello little green thumb teachers. This is a video to help you visually inspect the wires and marette wire connectors for your Solaris Air-Cooled Shade. Okay, so this is a visual inspection only of the marette and the wires and marette wire connectors. So what we'll be doing is we are requiring you to inspect the wires and marette wire connectors with the maintenance staff personnel from your school. So it is vitally important that before you begin and during the entire inspection process that everything be de-energized, so that the system is de-energized. So what we mean by that is that everything needs to be turned off and unplugged. So the light fixture, the fan, the ballast, the surge bar, everything needs to be unplugged and turned off and remain so throughout the entire inspection process. Okay? If you've had the light fixture running and you've then de-energized it, so you've turned it off and unplugged everything, you'll need to wait several moments or a little while for everything to cool down before you begin, because we don't want anything to be hot to the touch when you begin. Okay, and it's also important to make sure that there are no children around when you are doing this. So to recap, you will be doing this visual inspection with a maintenance staff personnel. You will be making sure that the system is de-energized before and during the inspection. So that means that everything is unplugged and turned off. The light fixture, the fan, the ballast, the surge bar, everything's unplugged and turned off. You'll make sure that the system is cool, so that if it is running, after you've unplugged and de-energized everything, you're going to have to wait several moments for it to cool down before you begin. And you want to do so without any children around. Okay? So to access the wires and the marette wire connectors, they're located on the end of the fixture where the cord is located. Okay? So what you'll do is you will loosen the clamp of the ducting, remove the ducting, and then here you will see a white metal plate. The wires and marette wire connectors are located behind this white metal plate. Okay, so we need to remove this plate in order to visually access. And when we're doing our visual inspection, we are just looking. We are not physically touching or physically altering the wires or the marette wire connectors in any way possible. So, in order to get that plate, the first thing we need to do is we need to remove the glass metal cover, or the glass cover. Okay, so I've loosened these all up beforehand just to make the video go a little bit faster, but you will need a screwdriver to help take off these wing nuts. Okay. Now, as you're removing the glass metal cover, it's important to take a look at the condition of the glass. If you notice any cracking or chips in the glass, please contact your local Little Green Thumb coordinator immediately. Okay, while we are doing this, the system is de-energized, everything is unplugged and turned off. Okay, we don't want any power flowing into the system, and we want to make sure that we've given the system time to cool down so that nothing is hot to the touch. Okay, so I'm taking off the glass. I've looked to see if it's in good condition, if there's any cracks or chips or anything. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to have to remove these 4 screws to take off the white metal cap. So in order to do so, you might need to take out the light bulb. Okay, now when you're looking at the light bulb, you also want to look at that for any cracks or chips or anything that looks unusual. If there is anything that looks unusual, keep the system de-energized, so keep everything unplugged and call your Little Green Thumb coordinator immediately. Okay, so now we will take off these screws. Okay, so now that we've taken off the white metal plate, we are now ready to visually inspect the wires and marette wire connectors. Now, as a reminder, this is a visual inspection only. At no point will you be touching the wires or touching the marette wire connectors. visually inspecting only, just looking. Okay, so we're going to start by looking at the wires, okay, for any signs of damage, defect, wear or tear, or anything that looks unusual. So we're looking for stuff like bare wires, exposed wires, frayed wires, frayed ends, anything like that, okay? Next, we're going to look at the marette wire connectors. Now, the marette wire connectors, in this case, these are the two red wire nuts, okay? They're red in this light fixture, but they may be a different color in yours, okay? So for these marette wire connectors, we are also looking for signs of damage, defect, wear or tear, anything unusual. So this can be stuff like melting, cracking, or looseness, stuff like that, okay? Next thing we're going to do is we're going to look to see that the wires are connected in the marette wire connector. So you want to make sure that the wires are, that you visually look to see that the wires are inside the marette wire connectors. Okay, we also want you to take a look at the fixture around there for any scorch marks or any signs of damage as well. Okay, it's important to note that if you do see any signs of wear, tear, damage, defect, or anything unusual, that you keep the system unplugged and de-energized, okay, light fixture, fan, ballast, surge bar, everything unplugged and de-energized, and call your local little green thumb coordinator immediately. So again, this is a visual inspection only. This should be done while everything is de-energized, unplugged, nothing's on, everything's turned off. And if you do notice anything unusual or any signs of damage, defects, wear, tear, anything unusual, you call your local little green thumb coordinator immediately. Or if you do have any questions, you can contact your local little green thumb coordinator immediately. Now, as a final piece, when you're going to put the white metal plate on, you'll see that for the white metal plate, there's an end that is closed and an end that is open. Okay? When you're going to put the plate back on, you want to put the open end where the black grommet for the cord is. Okay? So where the cord is reaching inside the fixture, okay, that's going to be where the metal, or the open end for the cap is going to be. So the open end of the cap goes where the black grommet with the cord is. Okay, so it fits on just like that. Okay, so the open end to where the cord comes into the light fixture. Okay, thank you very much. And if you have any questions or concerns, please contact your local little green thumb coordinator.